Hey guys, it's Justin, the Covert Closer. Today's Tuesday, and that means it's Telephone Tuesday. So, I'm wondering, how would the end of 2018 look for you and your sales numbers and your income if every customer that you talked to was practically begging to buy your product by the time you got done with your sales presentation? Instead of saying they got to talk to somebody else, or they got to think about it, or it's too expensive, or any other litany of excuses than smoke screens that you get. How would your year change if 90% of the people, qualified people that you talked to, whose problem you could solve, were practically begging to hand you their credit card by the time you were done? How would it change? Think about that. You know, I had a guy that I work with, sits next to me, and he said something to me the other day that really made me noodle on this for a little while, because it's something that I didn't even really think about, but upon further analysis, it's probably something that I thought could help you guys. What he said to me was that, hey man, I never hear you have to overcome any objections. You know, I don't ever hear you taking somebody that's telling you no and convincing them to do it. And I said to him, I said, well, if someone's saying no, then what you have is you have them on the wrong product. You qualified them improperly. You didn't activate their pain the right way. And that's why they're saying no, right? Now, on the flip side, that's not what salespeople do, right? Salespeople do not sell people, at least ethical salespeople, covert closers, don't sell things to customers that they don't want. Period. Okay, so you don't turn a no into a yes. That would involve manipulation or lying or both, and that's not how we do things. So instead, what we do is we turn a maybe, or a I'll think about it, or a let me talk to so-and-so, into okay, yeah, let's do this right now. You can eliminate 90% of that uncertainty, because that's what it comes from. If you ask Jordan Belfort, the man, that's what he says, is that people, they're not really have to think about it, because when they get off the phone, they're going to go and think about their life and the other shit they got going on. They're not thinking about you and your deal. They don't really have to think about it, but they're just not sure, and they don't want to tell you that. And so that's where your job comes in, is to build their certainty. And one of the ways that you can do that very, very effectively is by not solving their pain up front. So after he said that to me, we had that conversation, and he sat back down, and I listened to his next few calls, and I figured it out why that was happening to him so much. And what was happening is, so we do auto refis, and the person would tell him, oh yeah, I need to get my rate lowered, because that's why they're contacting us, or I need to get my payment lowered, that's why they're contacting us. And he would reply back with, yeah, okay, yeah, we can do that. We can definitely do that. During discovery, before you even know if this is a qualified prospect, you're already solving their pain, and you haven't earned the right for that yet. You don't know exactly what their pain is in order to solve it, and they know that. And so when it comes time for the next phone call, when you're actually making your presentation or the next meeting, you've already solved their pain. And so in their mind, it's already taken care of, right? And so in their mind, they've got plenty of time. They got plenty of time to check out all the options and talk to everybody and get real confused. That's what's going to happen. They're going to get very, very confused. And you're only making their decision harder. So instead, what you do when you're going through your questions and you're qualifying and making sure that what you sell actually solves their problem, you don't say anything. You just take mental notes, or take physical notes, or both, about what they're struggling with. And then you're going to bridge your product and its benefits based on its features towards their pain. And you're going to use that to solve their pain during your presentation, after which is when you're directly going to ask for the deal. And when you do it that way, by the time your presentation is done, you barely even have to ask. Although you should, but you barely even have to. The customer is going to be ready to give you their card, because in their mind, this is exactly what's going to solve their problem. And you've tied something tangible to it, and you've earned the right to reference their pain by taking your time and doing your due diligence. To resist that urge to solve their pain, right? Because we're humans and we care about people. That's why we're in sales. We're social beings. And when someone tells you they're struggling with something, especially if it happens to be in an area that you're an expert, I know this from personal experience, you want to solve it right away. But you haven't earned that right yet. So when you hear their pain, just take a note and continue on with your discovery and qualifying questions. At the end of the day, doing it that way, you guys, doing it that way makes sure that your customer can make an easy decision. And that's what you're all about. You're there to educate and facilitate the transaction. And the easier your customer's decision is to make, the more they're going to like you and the more that they're going to enjoy buying from you. All right, guys, that is Telephone Tuesday. So thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed this content, then head over to my profile and join the Sales Espionage group, where you can link up with other high-level covert closers and hone your sales skills to be more effective this year in 2018. Find more advice like this. And if you know anybody that could use this message today, tag them in the comments. That way they can see it. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow for Word Track Wednesday.